Welcome to the Toy Rewind Podcast with your hosts, the Brothers Newland. Now, let's talk toys.
And we are the Newland Brothers, and we are just a bunch of good old boys. I'm Michael.
I am John Hazzard.
Sorry, John. You want to say who you are again, John? I don't know if anybody heard it.
I'm John.
And I'm Andrew. Sorry.
Brothers Newland.
Welcome to the Toy Rewind Podcast. We're the Brothers Newland, the three of us. There's three of us, not just two of us, but we are just the good old boys, I guess, like Michael said. When you said that, I had to hit it, Michael. This week we look back at welcome to the Toy Rewind Podcast. The three of us look back at toys from our past, possibly your past, and give you a little history lesson about how those ended up in stores and in your household. This week we're rewinding. I have 1981, which is obviously when I think the toy line hit, but not when the show started. But we're looking at a toy line released by MEGO, based on none other than, anybody want to guess? The Dukes of Hazzard. That's right. We're talking about the Dukes of Hazzard this week, and this isn't a huge line, but it's a fun line. So I think it'll be a lot of history on it. And there's a reason we're doing it this week. What was the number? Is it 43 years, Michael?
Or yeah.
When the show released, it was 43 years ago. Yeah, January 26th, 1979 is the first episode. So 43 years. So we wanted to kick back. It's kind of a show we all like. Has some crazy history to it, and it's got some cool stuff to it too. So we're going to talk about the toy line that MEGO released.
Wish we had some dirt roads to run around like they used to back then.
Oh yeah,
all of us enjoyed doing that.
Oh yeah, lots of fun. So, but before we can talk about the toy line, John, you want to do your thing?
I believe I can. Check our websites out over at toyrewindpodcast.com, or you can check us out at crossthestreamsmedia.com. You can email us at toyrewindpodcast@gmail.com. Look us up on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. It's all Toy Rewind Pod. Facebook and YouTube is Toy Rewind Podcast. We do stream our Toy Box showcases that I believe Michael just did one to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. And then, of course, as you're listening to us, if you want to play along, you can listen. What?
No,
I don't know. Michael's doing something.
Michael's
weird.
going. I saw his hands go up, and I was like, okay. But you can come back to your
yeah, John, you finish your thing.
Finish your thing.
Yeah, if you want to play along with the little game that Andrew created with the podcast bingo, go to podcastbingo.com/toy rewind and play along with us. Let us know if you get a bingo. All right, Michael, what do you got?
All right. We usually record midweek most of the time, but today I've got something going on this week. So today we're recording on Sunday, and I was just watching the score for the KC Buffalo game, and KC just tied it up at the end of the fourth quarter with 8 seconds left or whatever. It was 3 seconds left. Yeah. So I looked down and it was tied, and I'm all, whoa. Okay, we can go back. We're not a football sports podcast, so
yeah, we're not the Dorksmen.
Is there a sports square on the bingo card?
There is,
just because of how random they come up with us.
There is a sports square on the STS guys bingo card because they never talk about sports.
Yeah,
so it's random square.
I'm actually, so surprisingly, this week I had to cut meat at the restaurant and everything because my meat cutter decided to go to Vegas. And during that time, standing in a cold room by myself, I've actually caught up with the STS guys on their podcast.
Yeah, their next one is 200. I actually tuned in last night, but they didn't do it last night. So I tried tuning in. Hopefully next Saturday night they'll do. They're on next one they do is episode 200. So congrats to those guys for making it 200.
Yeah, congrats to those guys. Watch, they won't do one for quite a while because they're just like holding off. It's always going to be the next one. The next one will always be episode 200. So, well, yeah, congratulations to those guys. Maybe someday we'll get there. We have 126 episodes to go.
Yeah.
So we're a little behind those guys at least. So, yeah. So Michael, your Toy Box Showcase, you want to give everybody a little heads up on what you did there?
Yeah, we did. I got a Optimus Prime for Christmas from Santa Claus. It is the Bumblebee Cyberverse Adventures Optimus. So it's the Cybertron truck when he transforms. He has a moving feature where you pull the little thing up and down, the spoiler up and down, and his arm with the axe goes up and down. Because Optimus has an axe in the movies and the cartoons.
Spoiler, as in car spoiler, not
right,
as
not
in like a spoiler.
So
in the movie,
does he conform into the truck since he has the moving?
Yes. Yeah, he still transforms into his truck, but it's a Cybertronian truck, so it's not. I mean, it's still a truck, but it's not
our 18-wheeler that we're.
It's not the 18-wheeler that we're so used to seeing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
it's a cool car, though.
Yeah. Got Roscoe P. Coltrane coming after you.
I think so. Something's going on.
It's in your neighborhood, Andy.
It is. I never know what's going on here. So.
Right.
Yeah. So you posted. You got on there. You put that one together. I joined you just to listen because I was kind of working and just kind of chilling. Mm-hmm. Listened, and so I think that's going to be something we're going to do this year. Michael's going to do his, I'll do mine, and John will do his. We'll kind of join back and forth, but it's going to be specific toys that we're going to do. And we have 3 new playlists. I guess they're just playlists on our YouTube channel that you'll be able to follow along, kind of watch those as we go through them. So along with some new content that we are working up for the website, you'll start to maybe see some toy reviews, some older toys that we're all doing and kind of chit-chatting about. So look forward to that. That'll be probably in February, first part of February. So be sure you're following all those social medias because we'll start releasing those kind of things. You'll see when it's coming out, everything like that. So I have a big something coming in the mail. It's going to be my first toy review that I'm going to do, and I'm excited about it. So a big something. Yeah, it's a surprise. Nobody's going to find out about it. What?
How old is it?
I'm not going to tell anybody. It's going to be a big surprise, and then it's going to show up, and everybody's going to be like, "Oh my gosh!" And it's great. So, all right. With that, are we ready to rewind?
Yeah, let's go ahead and we'll get this show started.
Get the show going.
Yeah. Yeehaw! Let's go. All right. I don't know if anybody else if this stays in or not, but we got background music today, so I don't know.
Oh, I mean, it's there.
It's there. Yeah.
I can't take it out. We're gonna see if we have any comments about it. I was just gonna let it go. You mentioned it. Hopefully,
I mean, I'm sitting here just jamming to some.
Hopefully, it's not too loud. It's just enough there to.
You can take it out.
I mean, I could stop it, but I can't take it out once we're done.
Just leave it there, and we'll
like
when we go back and listen to this, or anybody else listen to this, give us some feedback on it.
Yeah, don't turn it up, John.
All right. Okay.
It'll be too loud, and then people will complain.
We need like some country music going with this one here, with the theme this week, but we'll see before we got it. Okay. All right. Let's get going.
Need some whiskey drinking music.
So, all right. 1981. MEGO released a line of Dukes of Hazzard toys. In fact, there was actually 2 lines that they released. There was an 8-inch line for the traditional MEGO style cloth doll that they were all known for from the 70s, and then in the early 80s, so 81. And then they had a 3 3/4 inch line to to fall in line with the rest of the trend of the toy industry at the time, because since Star Wars was so big at the time, and then some of the others, and they had a line. They had a few other lines with that 3 3/4 size. And we've already talked about the Star Trek motion picture line that was from a few years earlier. So to stick with that trend, was going forward. And MEGO was struggling at that time anyway, so they were trying to figure out how to stay in business. So they had to go with whatever the trend was going with, and with the smaller line. So, like I said, even though this line was a success, it still didn't save MEGO, and they ended up being one of the last lines that MEGO did. Because but 1982 they filed for bankruptcy, so it was just a year before they went belly up. So the 8-inch line of the cloth dolls consisted of they only had 4 figures in this line, and actually 2 of the figures had facelifts, so you can actually say there were 6 figures in this line. Kind of like the Dukes of Hazzard TV show, if you remember. 2 characters went away and 2 showed up, and then the other first 2 came back. So, so the figures for Bo and Luke, actually MEGO had some new face sculpts done and put Coy and Vance faces on them, and kept everything the same. Even the card art, everything said Bo Duke and Luke Duke, and their bodies were the same. Everything, just the faces were different on the heads. And then when Bo and Luke came back to the show, and Coy and Vance disappeared. So the 4 characters they had Bo and Luke and Daisy and Boss Hoss on these. They only had 4 figures, but there was a bunch of different variations they had with differences made in their clothing. Like the colors were a little bit different from throughout the line. The snaps, or they had buttons on their pants or their shirts or whatever. I know Bo had a pocket at one time, and then by the end of the line, he didn't have the pocket. Their belt buckles were different, and just different things like that. It wasn't consistent from the time they started this 8-inch line to the end of the 8-inch line, the year that they produced these things. So they had a lot of different variations on these guys. So the 3 3/4 inch came out at the same time. That line, it was a much more filled out line. It had more figures. They even had vehicles with this line, and the vehicles in the show were the main attraction. You had the General Lee, Daisy's Jeep, you had Roscoe's police car, you had Boss Hogg's Cadillac. So that's what drew me to this show, was the cars. I'm a car guy anyway, so any of the shows like that, Knight Rider, A-Team, I was attracted to the vehicles. So this line had you had Bo Duke, Luke Duke, you had Daisy, you had Boss Hogg, you had Roscoe, you had Cletus, you had Crazy Cooter, and you had Uncle Jesse. So those were the figures they had. The crazy thing about this line, though, is the different types of body styles they had. That MEGO used. They didn't stay with the same body for all the figures. Like Bo and Luke, they were more articulated. They had the little pin joints in their elbows and their shoulders, and it was more of a G.I. Joe type style is what it was. Yeah. They had the O-ring with the little rubber band part that held their waist together, their top and legs together. So it was a lot like the G.I. Joe line. They also used it. This is the same style they also used on their Buck Rogers line and the Black Hole line. So Bo and Luke, there was they had 2 different head sculpts as well. There was a larger sculpt and a smaller. Larger head and a smaller head, and then the hairstyles were a little bit different from the 2 different heads. So you can find this bow. You can find bow with a smaller head or bow with a larger head. Same thing with Luke. He had the same thing. So there was some variations with these guys too as well. So Daisy's body style resembled the style that MEGO used for their Star Trek the Motion Picture line, which that's the other line we talked about for MEGO. She also had two different heads. There was a larger head with a smile. Her smile was actually painted on, and it had longer hair. Went down to her sat on top of her shoulders. She also had a smaller head that the smile wasn't painted on, but had a shorter hair. So it's kind of like MEGO wasn't sure what they wanted to do. Wanted the way things look. I don't know. Maybe it may have been the TV show saying, "Hey, this didn't look right. Can you make some changes?" I don't know. So there was also the Boss Hog figure. This used MEGO's Pocket Heroes body style that resembled looked more like a Star Wars type figure than this. So, and let's see. And then you had Roscoe, and you had Cletus, and you had Cooter and Uncle Jesse. These four were actually like a second series because the first we had Bo, Luke, Boss Hog, and Daisy for the first series, and the second series was Roscoe, Cletus, Cooter, and Uncle Jesse. These were also used the MEGO's Pocket Hero style body, like the Boss Hog figure was. So Roscoe, he had two different right hands. There was one that was closed, and then one that was opened. And then Cletus was the same way. They had he had the closed fist or the open hand.
So those are like the NECA toys now that you can change the hands in and out.
Yeah, well, you didn't change it. It just showed up. You either found it with the closed fist hand, or you found it with open.
It was two different toys.
And I think, to me, if you look at it, with the hand that's closed, it's got it looked like it could hold something, like a peg. It could fit in there. Like I was thinking, maybe they were trying to figure out how to do like a gun, and maybe that was because they didn't come with guns in the line, but I was thinking maybe that's what MEGO was gearing towards when they first molded it. Hey, he's going to have like a gun because he's a police officer. He's going to be holding a gun, but he never came with a gun. Roscoe's hat was an accessory. Cletus's hat was molded on his head. So,
and Cletus had the drill sergeant hat.
Yeah, and Roscoe did too, but Roscoe's was a separate piece.
Oh yeah, I guess when I'm looking at these pictures, it doesn't look as such drill sergeant hat.
It's not. Yeah, it's just Cletus's head is a little bit thinner. Although it wasn't in the show, he was a little bit chubbier in the show. So, to say the least, that these guys didn't even look like their actual show people. So the actual actors. But that's
not far off from what I remember.
Who's that?
Cooter.
Yeah, Cooter's not too bad. Uncle Jesse, there was two different versions of Uncle Jesse as well. There was one that had brown hair and a brown beard and looked nothing like Uncle Jesse. And then they changed it to where he had gray hair and gray beard, which you look at that and say, hey, that does look like Uncle Jesse.
Yeah, I was going to say
the brown beard and the brown hair. It's just young Uncle Jesse.
Yeah, it just looks like it's like he's 30 years younger or something. I don't know. So, so there was trying to think let's see what else we got. It's not a very big line. There's not much history. It's more geared towards the show. Yeah. So the vehicles, there was which were the actual, like I said, the actual stars of the show for me. It was the vehicles. So you had the General Lee. It had, it was just a plastic car with a little interior, and
it's a very simple car.
Yeah, there wasn't nothing. If you flip it upside down, it's just a shell, and then it's got the black interior that's screwed into it. And to get your figures into it, They actually have the roof actually opens up, and you can set your figures inside there. Your Bo and Luke or whoever you.
The roof flap is not something that was in the show.
No, it's not
They
like
made that part of it?
it's not like the new versions of the NASCAR that had where Michael Waltrip could pop out the top. So
Right.
that came about just 10 years ago. So anyway, there was so they did that, and you can fit your figures in and out. This also came with generally it came with one figure that was just a random figure. Most time it was either Bo or Luke. You could also get it with both Bo and Luke as well. So it either came with one random figure, or it came with one with Bo and Luke together. I think the one with the Bo and Luke was just a little bit more expensive because you're getting an extra figure with it, and it wasn't really that expensive back then. So,
well, with that style of car, I wouldn't think it would be.
No. Then you had Daisy's Jeep. It always came with a Daisy figure. Didn't come with nobody else but Daisy. Of course, you don't want Boss Hogg with Daisy's Jeep. So
come on.
And then there was Boss Hogg's Cadillac. The box said Caddy. So it had a picture. The car itself had a picture of Boss Hogg on the door. I guess it's kind of like he's running for office or whatever, and it's got his political picture on the side. I don't know, but it's got the doors would open, and you can. I mean, it was a convertible anyway, so you can set any figure inside there. But this one always came with Boss Hogg. Always came with it. So you had the police chase car. Which was actually it was a '57 Chevy Bel Air, and it wasn't like the Dodge. I don't remember what was it, Monaco or whatever they used.
Whatever
that time period. Yeah, I can't remember. But it wasn't. I mean, it was a Dodge that they used. So I don't know why they didn't make a car just like that. They just, I guess MEGO had a '57 Chevy in their tank and said, "Hey, we need to use this mold. Let's just do this. Put the Hazzard County Police or Sheriff on the side and badge on the side, and we'll run with that." So, and it came with the Roscoe P. Coltrane figure with it as well. So, something that you don't see now anyway. Going back to the Boss Hogg figure. He's actually holding a cigar in his hand. If you look at it, so
yeah, he is. I was just looking at that.
Yeah. So he's so you don't see that. You don't find toys with it's got any kind of tobacco depictions in it or anything like that. So
you don't see it in.
I mean, you can't even see it in TV shows now, hardly anymore. So
can I just point out that Roscoe and Cletus look dumb?
Yes.
Yeah, they do.
They did a good job on these characters from the show. I don't know. They just. All right. What about the playset? Because they have a playset also.
They almost had a playset.
Oh, did it almost?
So it was Cooter's Garage.
Oh, it was an '82 catalog.
It was in the 1982 catalog, but it wasn't ever made because by the time they had this catalog out. They were filing for bankruptcy, so it never got produced. So,
so this is basically Cooter's Garage. Mm-hmm. It looks like just a dollhouse that's got some.
It's like a dollhouse that's got like a auto part or auto repair shop stuff in it. Yeah.
I don't
looks
remember
like something from Brownsboro.
Yeah, I don't remember enough of the show to remember if this is what the building actually looked like.
It's similar. It looks similar to it. Yeah.
Okay. They didn't do a bad job there.
Yeah, we went through and watched. I didn't watch every show, but Rainey watched the entire series last year during all the COVID mess, and she was she was off for a few weeks or a month and a half, and so she sat home and watched the whole Dukes of Hazzard series. So
Well, sounds like fun. So this is just a vacuum form shell. It's got it, and this one didn't get made, but it's interesting that it's just there's not really much stuff about like repairing cars in here.
Mm-mm.
It's just
no, there's a desk
cabinet
with a chair and a filing cabinet and
it
like
looks like a refrigerator.
Got a little Coke machine refrigerator thing. Yeah. So it's
And
not,
those are just little vacuum form pieces of plastic. So
yeah.
a kind of a failure on. They could have done so much. I mean, the cars are the winner here, even though they're just
and
vacuum
they were
form.
they're just cheap
plastic
little
shells.
plastic
Yeah.
cars, but yeah. I mean, and the stickers on them are just cut out stickers. Like on the side of the General Lee of the 01. Instead of having a 01 sticker, it's a big white square sticker with the 01 printed on the white sticker, and the car is orange. So, I mean, it's not, and all the other stickers are just cut out and stuck on there. So
The boxes for these were just they had plastic over the top, so you can obviously see the car before you buy it.
yeah, you got the window in there. Yeah,
you get the window. That's the word.
The box for Daisy's Jeep, and also you can do it with the General Lee. The bottom of it, so the General Lee, the bottom of it has a painting picture thing that has Bo and Luke, Uncle Jesse, Daisy, Boss Hogg, and Roscoe, and then in the corner it's got Roscoe's police car. You can kind of cut it out, and it's like a postcard size cut out, and you hang it on your wall, whatever. Daisy's the same way. She's got pictures for Catherine Bach. She's, it's got little headshots and stuff like that you can cut out and keep for your collection.
On your wall.
Yeah,
on your wall because you're,
Yeah, you're in love with Daisy Duke or something,
I was going to ask Michael if it was really the cars is why he watched, or was it Daisy?
At my age, it was just the cars at that time. Yeah. So.
This is a very interesting toy line because they didn't do a whole lot. You were showing us this picture earlier, Michael. I'm going to open it here and pull it up because this is a pretty funny picture with kind of a little crossover.
The
Bo and Luke stealing the Starsky and Hutch car.
Yeah, those are the 8-inch figures. Like I said, they only had 4 of the figures. They didn't do any vehicles for that size, for that line, that 8-inch line. But they did have, Starsky and Hutch had their figures and the car, the Torino for them. So this picture depicts the Duke boys stealing the red Torino.
I only have one real problem with this: is the Duke boys wouldn't know how to open those doors.
No,
no, because they weren't welded shut like General Lee's.
They wouldn't know how to do that. So there's no way that they would be stealing that one.
They drove other vehicles in the show.
They always went through the windows too, even if the doors were normal doors.
Or they didn't have doors.
They were so used to doing that. So, and I thought it was funny that the 8-inch line included head sculpts for Coy and Vance. When Coy and Vance showed up, Bo and Luke were off on the NASCAR circuit racing cars and with General Lee, which wasn't really a body style that they had in NASCAR at the time. So they
just ruining everybody's dreams, Michael.
I know it.
I don't remember Coy and Vance, so
Coy and Vance, they lasted half a season. Well, what it was, and we'll go into the little TV history here. John Schneider and Tom Wopat had issues with their contract with licensing and merchandise, which that's what we're talking about is the merchandise. They thought they weren't getting paid enough out of that stuff. So they just said, until we get this, we're not doing anything. But they wanted to go on with the show. So what they did was they brought these other two actors in that looked exactly like Bo and Luke, and used them to fill in. And instead of rewriting the script, they used the same script. They just scratched out Bo and Luke on the script and put Coy and Vance on there, and they used the exact same script as if Bo and Luke were there. They just had different names. And
Aren't they the cousins?
Yeah, they were cousins.
Yeah.
I mean, Bo and Luke were cousins. Daisy was a cousin. They're all cousins. None of them were.
Well, that's what I'm
brothers or
saying. They were
sisters,
all
and-
cousins, right?
Yeah, they're just all cousins. So, and Uncle Jesse, I don't know where everybody else's parents were, but Uncle Jesse was the only one there, and he wasn't the father of any of them. So,
He was the uncle to all.
he was the uncle to everybody, but he didn't have any kids himself, and
So-
his
So if
everybody
there's
else
four
were
of them,
cousins.
if there's 5 of them because of Daisy.
hmm
There's 5 of them that are all
There's
cousins.
actually more.
None
There's
of-
a couple other cousins show up throughout the
Okay.
series.
but none of those are related. So if they're first cousins, that means that Uncle Jesse has at least 5 brothers or sisters.
Yeah, it's a huge family. Uncle Jesse has a huge family, but you don't see anybody except for his nephews and nieces, which there's a bunch of them, but yeah,
Where's
it's just,
the rest of the parents that
yeah, you don't see
could be
anybody
keeping
else.
them under control?
Yeah, he never mentions any of his brothers or sisters or anything like that. And apparently he's got all brothers because they're all Dukes is their last name. So apparently
yes,
they're
that's
all
true,
boys.
so.
So yeah. But anyway, so and then when Tom Wopat and John Schneider got their contracts sorted out, they came back and Coy and Vance just disappeared and were never heard of again. Pretty much. So
I mean, I think that's done for the right.
well, I'd say that, but then they show up in the cartoon series too. So
Oh, well, yeah, there's cartoon series. They should have done a toy line for the cartoon series.
yeah, well, here's a little bit of history on the cartoon series. And I don't remember watching the cartoon. Rainey does. She remembers watching it Saturday morning, so she was filling me in, and we were looking at the history and stuff on this. There's 2 different seasons. First season has 13 episodes. Season 2 only has 7 episodes, so there's 20 episodes total. So what it is the Dukes, they go racing around the world in all these races in different places around the world against Boss Hogg and Roscoe, and Roscoe's got his dog Flash. So that's what they're doing. They're in Australia. They go to South America. They're in Rome. They go to where else they go? They go to London. They're in India, Hong Kong, Scotland, all this. So the first 13 episodes of the show of them racing has Coy and Vance in it. And then season 2, just like the season 5 in the TV show, season 2, those 2 guys disappear and Bo and Luke are right back, like nothing happened. So, but they're still racing around the world trying to, and all these races around the world are put on by Boss Hogg, and they're trying to beat the Duke boys to win the money and to get because if the Duke boys win the money, they get to use it to pay Boss Hogg to keep their land. If they don't, then Boss Hogg gets money and their land. So, and the Duke farms up in smokes. So
Obviously, that's always the case. So these, I looked
Andrew,
up
do
some
you
of
remember
these.
the cartoon?
I don't remember the cartoon really.
You probably wouldn't, since it's right after you were born.
yeah, it lasted. Let's see, it started
Or no,
February
it was
5th.
right before you were born.
February 5th, 1983. And then the first season ended April 30th, 1983. And season 2 started September of 83 all the way to October 83. So,
Yeah, so right before I was born. So as far as collectability of these toys, they are kind of cool. They have some I saw on eBay, saw some on Mercury, like different prices. None of them are super expensive. Are crazy to get, so you could probably get some of these. There's one specifically that stood out to me, and I want to share it with you guys, and that's this one. It's a $10 head and torso of Luke Duke.
Mm-hmm.
No feet. And his hand is not in great condition.
It looks like something gnawed on his fingers, and his fingers
Yeah.
are
His
gone.
hair is turning peach.
Yeah, flesh color. Yeah, the paint's coming off,
so
rubbed
very
off
much
his hair.
just paint coming off. But just the fact that this one was $10, which is about the same price I saw all the rest that were full body.
So someone's trying to get some money off of nothing.
Yeah, I just don't understand why somebody would think that this one would be worth $10.
I don't know.
But yeah, not very expensive. John, you had pulled up the 1981 MEGO catalog. That's the word I was looking for.
Sears
Sorry.
catalog.
Oh, it's Sears catalog. Yeah.
Sears
and so you said the set of the three, the car and the two Duke boys, was how much?
Yeah, generally
$8.99.
$8.99. So in $8.99, 1981, that's worth $27.57 today. Not terrible.
Maybe just a tad bit higher than what I would think it would be. I think it'd be about $5 cheaper the way it's made now.
So $3.99 for the set.
Well, no. I mean,
like
in today's
around
money,
$20.
I'm thinking about $20 is what it's probably worth.
$19.99 probably what it's worth. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you are getting two figures and a car, but like you said, they're not.
But it's not like a die. It's not like a die-cast car.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, we
It's
talked
not
about
like
this.
a Jada.
We talked about this last week. Yeah, the Jada. You get the car. And like this one's got two figures. It's the Mystery Machine. It's got Scooby and Shaggy, and it was $19.99, $20, and it's a die-cast.
And it's a die-cast.
Die-cast. It's got opening doors.
So
The generally doesn't, but it's got the hood that opens up. But it's all plastic. And yeah.
If I bought a Jada General Lee and the doors opened, I would be upset.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do want one of those. By the way, Michael, I gotta find one.
Well, I mean, let me read the description for the car. It says, plastic car has turning wheels and open and close doors to allow figures to sit inside.
On the General Lee?
That's what it says on this description in the Sears catalog.
Maybe somebody had never seen it and didn't realize that they didn't open. It was like just making stuff up.
Because the others have opening doors, except for the Jeep. Jeep has no doors at all.
Right.
But the others do have opening doors. The police car, the police chase car, and I believe the Caddy. I mean, even though it's convertible, I think it had opening doors. The General Lee didn't have opening doors. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
it may be referencing the other cars in the series as well. Maybe. So
it might be.
But yeah, I mean it's cool. I've got a few General Lees in my collection. They're the Ertl ones from the early 80s that came out during when the TV show was out. I had my original one. Here, quick story. My original General Lee Ertl car. I was playing in the driveway when we lived in Tyler, and it's got that drain pipe that ran from the driveway out to the street to drain the water, rainwater or whatever. And it was raining one day, and it was a big puddle, and I stuck it down that drain, hoping it'd come out the other end. It never did. So
it's probably still there.
It's probably stuck in there somewhere.
Yeah,
unless it finally flushed out and went down the road to the creek down there. But
or unless they, snaked it out or something.
Yeah, and then I ended up picking one up when me and Rainey got married on our honeymoon down in San Antonio. We were in an antique store, and I found one and bought it. And then I picked up another one since then. So
yeah, so you've got a couple.
Yeah,
Ertl makes some pretty cool cars. I like their little figures that they make. So, all right, so let's do this. Let me share this, and let's rank this line specifically this MEGO line. Now, Michael, we are not ranking Dukes of Hazzard. We are ranking the toy line. Okay?
I was about to say that because Dukes of Hazzard was a big part of my childhood. That's one of those shows that I remember watching all the time. I don't remember watching when it first aired. because I was only a couple years old when it first came on. But I know I watched it in reruns or whatever, in syndication, whatever. But that was one of the shows I just loved watching. Like I said, it was Dukes of Hazzard. It was Knight Rider and A Team, and those the cars is what attracted
I was about
me.
to say there's a similarity there in those cars.
I did not have any of these toy figures that I can remember. So we may have had one of the cars, but I don't remember it. But like I said, the show itself is a lot of my childhood. But I can't rank it on that. I have to rank it on the toys.
Yeah.
And the toys will probably go. I'm gonna put them at number. This is a tough one. Let me put it at number 5. Because the reason why John's holding up 4 fingers, but
I tried to guess.
It to me, MEGO didn't know what they wanted to do with this line. Like I said, the Bo and Luke are 2 different figures, 2 different styles compared to the rest of the figures. The rest of them were similar to you had like a G.I. Joe and a Star Wars figure, and those 2 different body styles is what was in this one line. And if they made all of the figures the same, I would understand. But now I don't know why they did something for Bo and Luke compared to the others.
They may have been trying something to save the company, because at this point, the company's already not.
They needed to stick to one thing, and that was it.
Probably.
And like I said, even the hand versions of Roscoe and Cletus, and they really should have made an Enos toy. They didn't. Enos was the original officer, he was in the first couple of seasons. In season 3, he went off and did his own TV show called Enos. He went to California and was on the police force in California. But anyway, so they brought in Cletus to take his spot, and Cletus, it was still kind of funny, but I still liked Enos better. But by the time this toy line came out, Enos was already gone from the show. And he did come back at the end, but for a couple of bit. But it was, the show was already floundering by then. So, but yeah, 5. I'm sorry, that was a long.
It's fine. Me and John will rank ours whenever we get to it. John, what do you got?
I'm gonna go quick and short. Number 5, underneath Troll Dolls, because I don't remember GoBots, and I remember Troll Dolls, Army Ants, Mad Balls. I love the cars in these, but they're not the cars that I see that we would have had a lot of fun with or anything. So,
well, I'm glad you went 5. That does give some people a bonus, or a bonus
bingo,
a bingo match. I'm going number 7. I'm only pushing down the MEGO Eagle Force. This line, for as fun as the show was, could have been better. I think you give this to Hasbro, somebody like that, you're going to get a better line out of it. The characters, the cars, everything,
And MEGO was where they were. I still don't understand why they use different figures, but the cars themselves were the plastic, molded cars. There wasn't nothing fancy, so we're saving money on those there. So
yeah,
I don't know. It's just kind of weird on the figures why they didn't use the same body style for the whole entire line.
They should do better. They should definitely do better next time.
There's a reason why they went belly up that year. So
it is. So all right. Well, with that, I don't know if there's much to add to this one. Like I said, not very. I mean, collectible if you want to collect them. Pretty easy to find if you want. But
the commercial for this toy line, it showed the kids, they had the General Lee and and the Duke boys driving it down this little dirt hill, and it was sliding and stuff. They were going around corners in the Hazzard County. But what caught me was the music for the song for this commercial at the end of the commercial was it sounded a whole lot like the Bluebell ice cream song. It's just ridiculous. They could have used Waylon Jennings like they did in the TV show or something, but
I'll have to look that up.
They used the Bluebell ice cream sounding guy.
Jeez.
So it was weird. And the cartoon was a Hanna-Barbera production too, so just throw that out.
Right.
So.
I'll have to look that up and listen to that because I don't think I saw the commercial and the stuff that I was looking up on it. So because that sounds pretty funny. All right. Well, with that, let's wrap this one. My notes got closed out, so I don't know what I have to do here. Oh, yeah, here we go. So if you're listening, hopefully you're familiar with our Cross the Streams Media network, podcast network. We've got quite a few different podcasts, including the Dorksmen, the STS guys, which we've talked about here a little bit earlier. Congrats on your 200 episodes, guys, whenever you decide to do it. Secondary Heroes, 3 Beers on the Mic, the Movie Gap, the Dan Aykroyd podcast, the Burt Reynolds and Charles Bronson podcast, Front Row Negative, Art of the Boar, and Beering Ain't Easy. Lots of good content going on there. You can find all those at crossthestreamsmedia.com or on their Twitter or Instagram, which is CTS Media and Cross the Streams Media, respectively, I think. I think I got those right.
Yeah,
I still haven't put those in the notes, even though we've talked about it multiple times.
Yeah, I got a new notebook for my.
Look at that. Michael's got a new notebook. Episode 73 through nothing. We don't know.
Whenever I get to the end of the book.
So while you're over on Cross the Streams Media, go ahead and leave us a rating and review. I would like to Cross the Streams Media. I got to find it. Hold on, I got to pull it up. We did get a new review the other day that I want to read out here. We did. Hold on, I got to find it. There it is. All reviews. This was done by named Suicide Fox. The Real Toys That Made Us. Found this show because of the Cross Streams Media. Became a subscriber because of the content. Great show, great hosts, and great information. 5 stars.
Awesome.
5 stars. So that's by Suicide Fox, which he is part of our Cross Streams Media.
That's Front Row Negative Alex.
Oh, that's Alex. Okay. I was like, wait, which one? I was trying to remember who it was. I don't know all the guys by their handles. So sorry,
That's
Alex.
Alex.
I think ours are pretty easy.
Thanks for the love. Ours are pretty easy. I just couldn't remember which one exactly it was. So thanks for the love. Thanks for the review. Do we need to, John, can you get a sticker out to him?
I can't.
We should probably just get stickers. Maybe stickers out to all the Cross Streams guys.
Yeah.
Except for the Dorksmen and the SDS guys. They have plenty. We've sent them all some before. So
yeah.
I still have plenty of these too.
Yeah. Oh, we got pins. So we'll do that. So if you leave us a message, we'll get you a sticker. Excuse me. So please go leave us a rating and a review. It helps us out because it helps Apple know that we kind of know what we're talking about. At least we think we do.
Or at least we're enjoyable to listen to, maybe.
You know what? Maybe the first 72 episodes weren't enjoyable, but this one we have rock music playing in the background. And so maybe that's more enjoyable to you. I don't know. Let us know what you think about that
it's like elevator rock music.
It is. It's just kind of there. Hopefully it's maybe let us know. Do we need to turn it up? Is it too much? Should we kill it? Whatever you want. So, and then also there was something else. I don't remember. I feel like there was something else. Is there something else that I'm missing?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Of course. I'm going to think that's a no. There's nothing else that I'm missing. Michael, you have to do that again. Thanks for listening to episode 73. We talked about some Dukes of Hazzard. It's toy line by MEGO.
A big dirt mound up in there.
Yeah,
across the river bank, Dried Creek Bank. That's it. We got to jump across a Dried Creek Bank.
See, if you'd have said we need to cross the stream.
There you go.
See, that could have been a good segue, but yeah. All right. Well, thanks for listening to us.
We need a volunteer. That's what we need.
A what?
Waylon Jennings ballad. Was it balladeer? Is that how you balladeer?
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know.
You've got me so lost. Again,
that's the host guy at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, thanks for listening to episode 73. We'll be back next week with another fun episode. So if you've enjoyed this, share it with your friends. Let them know. And with that, on behalf of the Brothers Newland, here's the Toy Rewind podcast. Play on.
Yeah!
You've been listening to the Toy Rewind podcast. Follow and join in the conversations at toyrewindpodcast.com.